Hello, this is Dave. When I was approaching retirement, I thought that I could get things all set up ahead of time, be very proactive, get all my Medicare and other benefits all ready to go, so that as soon as I retired, everything would be in place. Well, it didn't quite work out that way. One thing that was a major help to me was I was assigned an advisor through Fidelity. My employer contracted with Fidelity to do this for its retirees. What I'm going to present here is the process that I went through. It may be very similar for you, or it may be different depending on your age or your employment situation, whatever else is unique to you. But I hope that you'll find things in here to be helpful, at least, to help you through your process. I created an account on SSA.gov. You should do this today, no matter how far away you are from retirement. This enables you to see what your Social Security benefit will be based on the month you retire. You will also go here when it's time to sign up for Medicare. 3 months before my retirement date, I applied for Medicare. In my case, since I was 66 years old, I first had to get a form from my employer stating that I had medical insurance through them, and therefore it was okay to sign me up for Medicare Parts A and B without penalizing me for not signing up for Medicare when I turned 65. I had to get this form from my employer, finish filling it out or signing it, and hand deliver it to my local Social Security office. I could have mailed it in, but I didn't trust the post office. I applied for Medicare Parts A and B through SSA.gov. Before long, there was a message on my page in SSA.gov saying that they had received my application, and it usually takes 30 days to get it approved. So I waited. At some point, I received a form in the mail that required my Medicare number, I think so that they could sign me up for Part B. I didn't have my number yet, so I called my local Social Security office to ask them what to do. By the way, I found that I could usually get in contact with someone pretty quickly at my local Social Security office. If I called the national number, it could be a 2-hour wait on the phone. One day I did call the national office and get through very quickly. That's because I called exactly when they open in the morning. Anyway, my local Social Security office told me to fill in the form and drop it off, and just write on the form that I did not have my Medicare number yet. I must say that I found everyone I spoke with at Social Security to be very helpful and kind and competent. I frequently checked in at SSA.gov to see if I had been approved yet for Medicare. 30 days passed, 60 days passed, and finally my retirement date was here. I was not yet approved for Medicare. Finally, several weeks into retirement, I called the national number, spoke with someone, and that person approved me for Medicare Parts A and B while we were on the phone. I was getting nervous because I was afraid that I had no health insurance in the meantime. The person I spoke with at Social Security told me that I actually would be covered starting at my retirement date because I had sent in my application plenty early. This was a relief. I no longer had to stay in bed all day with a seatbelt on. But what about the supplemental policies? When I was nearing age 65, I was inundated by mail and by people contacting me about supplemental health insurance policies. I ignored it at the time because I was not retiring yet, and I was able to continue on my employer's health care. Once I decided to retire, I thought I would get all set up with a supplemental policy and be ready to go by the time I retired. However, it seems that you don't talk to anyone about supplemental policies, at least in my situation, until after you are approved for Medicare. Fortunately for me, since I was working with an advisor to walk me through the process, they were able to connect me with a supplemental health insurance person who could recommend an appropriate policy for me. So, a few weeks after I retired, after I got approved for Medicare, I was able to arrange for a supplemental health insurance policy. I'm also married and my wife is not yet 65 years old. I was able to keep her covered by my employer's health care, even though I'm retired, until she turned 65. That process was pretty automatic. I was grateful for that. Next year we can go through this adventure again when she turns 65. That's my experience. Let me know in the comments how your process went for you. Also, check back often to see more videos about my retirement adventures.